everybody? What's happening? What's shaking? What's doing? Yes! This is episode 353 of McRae Live. The date today is Monday, August the 18th, 2025, 7:07 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Do it again! 30,000 subscribers. Finally, after 725,426 years, I have finally hit the 30,000 subscriber milestone. Thanks to all of you, of course. Finally. Ow! One more time! Yes! Episode 353 of McRae Live. My name is Dave McRae, coming to you live from the Voice Man Studios in Toronto, Canada. And like I said, 30,000 subscribers. We're going to shoot the shit tonight. We're going to talk some horror. We're going to reminisce. We're going to get inebriated. No. Well, I mean, you might. I mean, if you want to, you can. But we're not. I'm not going to do that. But yeah. Ow! Welcome to episode 353 of McRae Live, everybody. Thank you for joining me here on the show. It is hard to believe that, well, it's not hard. Well, it kind of is, but finally 30,000 subscribers, 30,000 subscribers. And which is great, which is really great. And, it's taken me a long time to get to 30,000. I am a little late to the party on this, but it is no secret as to why it's taken me this long. And, there are reasons why certain people will gain subscribers and others, faster than others. Obviously, there are those that, purchase subscribers and do it the dirty way and the backdoor way and all that kind of stuff. And then there are those that don't, like me, who just kind of, roll with the punches and, whatever happens. But it's great. It's great to see the community flourishing and channels growing all over the place. But it feels good to finally hit 30,000 subscribers. I've had this channel since 2006. And I didn't do much with it. I uploaded some little Halloween fan films and when The Force Awakens came out in 2015, I did jump on and give my thoughts on that. And I thought maybe that was my in to kind of expressing myself a bit more. But it wasn't until 2017, May the 17th, 2017 to be exact, May the 17th, 2017, where I uploaded a video, not a live stream. I hadn't done any live shows at that point. I uploaded a video, where I think it's called like the Epic Halloween Rant or What I Would Do or something like that. But the reason why I had jumped on to talk about it is because news was heating up over Blumhouse's acquisition of the rights to Halloween. And they were going to do, a new set of Halloween films, and I had no outlet to talk about it, and I needed an outlet to express myself and just get it off my chest. I had no desire to run a YouTube channel or grow a YouTube channel or grow a community or be part of a community. That doesn't mean I'm not thankful now. It's just at that time, that wasn't my intention. My intention was not to jump on and do a YouTube channel. I just needed somewhere to release all this built up Halloween energy. And but lo and behold, I was surprised to learn that there were quite a few. I mean, I knew there was a Halloween fans because they would respond to my Halloween fan films, right? The little short. They're hardly fan films. It's me walking around my house in atmospheric, lighting. But I guess that's what they are. And I would always get comments on those. And so I knew there was a community out there, but I didn't know there was a community out there. You know what I mean? And so it was really cool. And then I did a follow-up to that video, I think like a week or two later. And then it wasn't until the Jamie Lee Curtis video I did in September of 2017. I'd been uploading videos throughout the summer, but nothing anybody really cared about. But along comes Halloween again, and there was news for Jamie Lee Curtis, Halloween, and she had signed. It was big news. It was huge. And so I jumped on and I did a video. I think Veda's even in the thumbnail, my cat. But anyway, Anyways, I remember that video out of the gate was amazing. It got like 2,000 views in like the first 3 days or something, you know? And at that time, where I was, I mean, I don't even think I had 1,000 subscribers yet. I don't think. And if I did, it was just barely that. Maybe it was like 1,500 or something. It wasn't very much. And, but I don't think I did. And I remember that blew up. I mean, you know, relative to how big my channel was, it blew up, right? And I was really excited about it. I was like, oh my God, what is this? And that really was the catalyst that kind of just, and then I started doing more because at that point we were in September of 2017, you know, Blumhouse was gearing up to shoot. We thought it was going to go to camera that fall, but they actually went to camera in January. But news started to spiral at that point, right? Jamie Lee Curtis, Nick Castle, you know, it's going to be a direct sequel to One Only, 2's not going to be there. And it just started. So there were all these videos and all this content that I began doing in the fall of 2017. And that's really where it sort of spiraled for me in that direction. And, you know, very, very exciting and you know, to see where it went. But I never, my intention was never to start a YouTube channel. I mean, I already had a YouTube channel, but like to start this kind of thing. You know, it's one of the reasons why I probably would be further along, if I was a movie reviewer. So if I reviewed all the movies out there, right, I would more than likely be further along. I may be over 100,000 subs, you know, probably over 100,000 subs by now if I chose that trajectory, right? And that's just based on the analytics of the momentum that I had, my personality, the community. I think people would tune in if I was reviewing all the movies that come out. And my hat goes off to all those that do it. I cannot imagine having to sit through every single movie that comes out because there's people that are relying on knowing my thoughts. I don't mean that in a, you know, no offense, but there are people that do it and do it very well. I just never had a desire to do that. And so the structure of my channel and how it's just kind of organically become kind of like talk radio in a very, very niche space. I mean, we think our world is big. The world of horror is very small. When it comes to the entertainment business and the world of movies and fandom, it's passionate and it's not tiny as in it's non-existent, but it's a very small section of the much larger movie fandom sphere. You know, I mean, it doesn't even hold a candle to Marvel or DC or anything, or Star Wars or, you know, or anything like that, but it's big in its own right. So, you know, in the confines of this little kind of sphere, I become kind of like this, you know, jump on when I feel like it. There's no schedule. And I think I've done okay. But that's part of the reason why it's taken me so long to get to 30,000 subs, is because I'm not following the trend. I'm not following what's hot. There's many things that, you know, come out or that are big horror news that I don't immediately jump on. I don't talk about. Because I'll be honest with you, a lot of the stuff that comes out, I'm just like, I really don't care. And if I don't care about it, you know, if this was my job, right? If this was my full-time job, well, it wouldn't matter if I don't care. You care, and you come first because, you know, the audience, because I gotta pay the bills, man. I gotta get the views. I gotta get the clicks. I gotta get the super chats. But But when it's not your full-time job and it's your hobby and you have fun, you can be picky and choosy, right? And so there's stuff too that does come out in the world of horror where I'm like, oh yeah, I should, and then I intend to, and then I forget about it, and then 2 weeks go by, and it's like, it's old news now. And so if you're not jumping on something right away, and you're not jumping on it and jumping on it and jumping on it, which a lot of people do in this space, right? The second something comes out, I mean, these poor, I shouldn't say poor guys. I mean, it's their job, they love it. But as soon as something drops, they're like, oh my God, I got to turn everything on. Hey everybody, what's going on? Because they're chasing the algorithm. They're chasing the trends, and they're chasing, they can't wait 3 days like me, because then it's old news, right? And so hat goes off to them. They do it, and they do it well. And I just can't imagine, unless I was getting paid to do it, and this sounds so bad, unless I was getting paid to do it, like I already had a salary where I'm not trying, it's not, because you know what? And I say this, and this is why my hat goes off to those who do it full time. Like, Mike over at Wham, Cody Leach. There's a lot of people in our space that do it full time, are very successful. My hat goes off to them, because it's not like their salary, right? I mean, they only get paid when they work. It's contract, and not every video does great. Some videos might make them more money than others. And so it's always and I know about that as a professional voice actor. I mean, I'm not salary. Actors are not salary, right? You only get paid when you work, unless you sign a long-term contract for like a television series or something. And then you have to hope that that series does well, and that you're on a series for 5 or 6 seasons, and then that's guaranteed income. But as soon as that season, or that show ends, even the most seasoned actors that will say, as soon as the show comes to an end, we're all like, uh-oh, we're out of work. And you're out of work. Now, if you're a seasoned actor and you're a name, chances are you won't be out of work for very long, but you're still out of work. And so YouTube is very similar to that. You are talking heads on a show, and your contract, essentially, right? You only work when or you only get paid when you work. And it's all over the place. And super chats, I mean, you can't rely on super chats, because YouTube takes about 30% of super chats. So it's not like you can rely on those. So you have to rely on some super chats, some sponsorship, some ad revenue, a little bit of this, a little bit of that, a little bit of this, a little bit of that. And then you hope that it's enough to sustain and pay the bills and feed the kids. And so my hat goes off to those guys, man. I mean, and Cody Leach, who's just shot up. I mean, he's at I think he's closing in on 200,000 subs or something like that. But we talk. I mean, we're friends, and we talk. And I remember the last time I talked to him, he said, yeah, but it's not easy for him. I mean, he's still got to bust his ass. He's still got to chase the algorithm. He's still got to chase what's hot, what's not, all that kind of stuff. And, so anyways, I don't mean to digress and go off on a tangent there, but I find the world interesting, and it's interesting to look back on and reflect on the channel and where we are at 30,000 subs, because it might seem like I'm way behind, and I guess in a lot of ways you could look at it like that. Others in our space who I came up with, right, the Cody Leaches, the Drum Dums, the Whams, the Wolfman's Got Nards. I mean, they're all so far ahead of me, but that's also because they've structured their channels much differently than I have. And so if I decided to throw in the gauntlet with my, career, or even if I didn't, even if I just decided to pivot and really launch in and focus in and really start, doing reviews and deep dives and all that kind of stuff, you would probably see it and chase the algorithm. And I say chase the algorithm, not in a negative way. You have to chase the algorithm in order to sustain income, really, at the end of the day. Because if you're not chasing what's hot and leaving out what's not, nobody's going to watch you. And if nobody's clicking on your video, and if nobody's commenting on your video, and if nobody's thumbing up your video, YouTube literally will not push your video out to anybody. And so, it might seem like these guys, like your Cody Leaches and your Wham guys, have it easy, but they don't. Which is why you will often see, as soon as something drops, you will often see Mike over at Wham. He's up. He's up there. He's got to. This is his job. He's got to do that. And he loves doing it, and he's good at it. But I'm just saying, he's got to do it, right? And so my hat goes off to those guys, man. Like I don't think I could do that. I think the tedious, I could do that, but I don't think I'd want to do it. I think I would just feel the grind of it, I think, would get to me. I think I would rather just be hired by somebody to report the news, or something like that. But nonetheless, shout out to all those guys who are absolutely killing it. And it's great to finally hit 30,000 subs. Finally. It's really cool. It's really cool. And because it's funny when we were, and when I was doing all the Halloween stuff back back when Halloween was hot, Social Blade showed my trajectory of subs, because I was gaining a lot in 2018, 2019, 2020, 2021. It was showing the trajectory that if I kept up on that, kind of trajectory, in the next 5 years, I'd be at 150,000 subs or something like that, right? But of course, the Halloween news dies down, and I say this with all due respect, but most of you only care when I talk about Halloween. Not all of you. I have my loyalists. But there's a reason why when I jump on and I talk about, weapons, for example, or I don't know, Barbarian or something other than the big, three, Halloween, the views are not, you don't tune in, right? And then if I talk Halloween, even if it's the same thing I've talked about 400 times, you tune in because you're passionate Halloween fans. And that's just, but a lot of people struggle with that too, right? I'm not the only one, of course. But that's part of it. You want to pivot, you want to talk about other exciting things, but the viewership isn't there. And some people say, well, just talk about it anyway. It's like, well, yes, there are certain things I will always talk about anyway, no matter what, because I have to be really passionate about it. But if I'm not really passionate about it, like I could take it or leave it, I probably won't talk about it because you don't tune in. And when I say you, I don't mean everybody. I just mean those who, well, you know who you are. And so that's why, right? Like somebody might say, Dave, I really want you to talk about Godzilla more. And I'd be like, oh, I'd love to talk about Godzilla more, but nobody tunes in. And so it's kind of a waste of time. Like it's if only 500 people are going to watch the video, I'm not going to spend an hour talking about it, right? But that's not just me, that's everybody. And so you have to play that game in order to make it worthwhile, right? And so a lot of people who first came on board saw me as the Halloween guy. And unfortunately, I would say it's probably about 50-50. I'd say 50% stuck around or, to watch me, in other things and talk about other things. And then the other 50% probably tune out. Because I've had people actually say to me when I upload a Halloween video or a live show, I've had people say to me, Dave, it's great to see that, you're still here. And I'm like, I've always been, where have I gone? Where it's you that checked out after Halloween ends, and then you just saw a Halloween video from me. You're like, oh, Dave, it's good to see you. That's what they say. It's good to see you back. That's what somebody said to me once. It's good to see you back. Good to see me back. I've always been here. It's just you don't tune in unless I'm talking about Michael, which is totally cool. I mean, that's your absolute right, to do that. But I just find that kind of funny. But those are the things, right? You got to think about it. And some people might laugh and say, oh, Dave's doing a Halloween vid, the views must be down. In full transparency, that is sometimes the case. Sometimes when I do 2 or 3 shows in a row that don't hit the views that I want, like with my subscriber base, I'm always hoping I hit at least 2,500 views after a show is kind of peaked, right? And that doesn't usually, and if it's not Halloween, if it's something like if I went online and I did a show right now where I was talking about, Companion, right? Or Strange Darling, even if it's in the horror world, like a great horror movie, that live show is going to struggle to hit 2,000. It might eventually, like after 6 months, or something. But it's going to struggle because people are like, people are finicky, right? Audiences are finicky, and there's a sociological and psychological behavior. They've studied all this. That's why it's very easy to market to people, because they've studied the psychology and the sociology and the human behavior, and that's why we're easy to be, manipulated, right? But so sometimes it's that I'm like, these views are kind of down. I guess I better do a Halloween show, and I do, and the views skyrocket to 4,000 views, and it sounds. It's unfortunate that I have to do that, but it also makes sense that I have to do that because of how I sprung onto the scene, the identity of the channel. Most people know me as the Halloween guy, or one of the Halloween guys. There's a lot of Halloween guys now, but certainly one of the bigger Halloween guys, and that's what they wanted to, and it's their right to. Hey, if they only want to watch that, it's their right? But that's why sometimes you'll see some people will say, I wish you talked about this more and I wish you talked about that more. And I would say, well, I'm not adverse to talking about that. I'm not really passionate about it, but I certainly would talk about it if I knew people would tune in. And unfortunately, they don't. Like, I've had people say, oh, talk about the Universal monsters, Dracula, Wolfman, the Mummy, Swamp Thing, like all these, and I'm like, yeah, I'm not overly passionate about it, but I wouldn't mind doing a show on that, but nobody would watch it. Some people would watch it, but not a lot of people would, right? And so, it's unfortunate. So the reality is, if you want more of those kinds of shows, you got to tune in. Everybody's got to tune in, right? You know what I mean? And then I'll do those kinds of shows. But, and I do, I will do other shows, of course, beyond Halloween, but I have to really be passionate about the topic. Like, UAPs, UFOs. I'm like, I don't care if I get 300 views. I'm really passionate about that. So I'll talk about that. You know what I mean? It's got to be that kind of thing. But if I could take it or leave it, I'm probably going to end up leaving it, unless it's a really hot topic in the entertainment news cycle. I'm like, oh, that might get, you know what I mean? But if it's something that's just not there, it's tough. And so it's been an interesting ride, and learning about that, and learning about the sociological behavior of the audience and what they want and what they don't want. And, and it's, I'll always laugh. Hey, you're back. I'm back. I haven't gone anywhere. You're the one that left and came back. Oh yeah, I guess you're right. So it's kind of funny. But it's been a, heck of a ride, finally hitting 30,000 subs. Again, I want to thank each and every one of you who have subscribed to the channel. Always to make sure you're still subscribed, because it actually is a real thing that when YouTube does their purging of fake accounts or bot accounts or dead accounts, sometimes they will accidentally unsubscribe you. And so double check to make sure that you're still subscribed, because that has happened, to me. Where I've been like, why am I unsubscribed from this channel? So I've had to resubscribe. So yeah, it's just a really interesting journey, this whole, because again, and two, to be fair, if I made it more of a habit of asking people to subscribe and hit the notification bell and smash that like button or whatever the hell they say, I might have more subs as well. I never ask anybody to subscribe. Nothing ever pops up that, you hear, ding, subscribe. I never have. I never have. And it wasn't an intentional thing. It was just something that I just never thought to do. And then eventually, like 4 or 5 years went by, and I was like, oh, well, it'd be weird if I started, but maybe I should start, because it would probably get people to, or maybe not, I don't know. But I've learned a lot from being on the channel and doing YouTube and talking to other creators about their journeys and seeing the success. I mean, I remember when I, seeing the success of Cody Leach and the Wham guys and Wolfman's Got Nards and Lee McCoy, and seeing all these guys just, their success, it's just awesome. It's just awesome. Because when I first sprung on, we were all relatively small. Well, I was the smallest, but we were all relatively small. I think, and I kid you not, when I sprung onto the scene, as I like to say, and when I became familiar with Mike and Jay over at Wham, I think they only had about 45,000 subscribers, I think, which is still 15 more than I have right now. But I think, they only had, I think they had like 45,000 or 50,000. Cody Leach, I think, had like 17,000 or something. Lee might have had a bit more at like 25,000 or something. Wolfman was in and around mine, like maybe 2,000 or 3,000 subs. It was really, and this is like 2016, 2017. And so it's really cool to see where everybody is now. And of course I'm, last. But there's reasons for that, right? When you look at all the different channels and how it's structured, it makes sense why mine would be probably last, because I don't necessarily do algorithmic friendly content unless it's Halloween. But yeah, let's jump over to the chat room and see what you are all saying. I know some super chats did come in yesterday. I had Josh McKenna send in 2. He said, congrats on 30K. Thank you, Josh. And he says, out celebrating my B-Day, so I can't make it, but I'm interested in the importance of wardrobe in film. As a director, do you focus on that or trust someone else? Would you have a say in the design or just buy something? Well, there's the wardrobe department. It depends on the size of the movie, right? I mean, if you're an indie filmmaker and it's you and your friend, then you probably are the wardrobe department. But on a Hollywood film, they have, an entire department for that. Now, you as a director would have a say in that, because you have, and the script and the story would often dictate what the actor is going to wear anyway. Sometimes it's described in the script. Sometimes it's left a little ambiguous. So there's, room to play. If it's a period piece, that's half your battle right there. But if it's not, then yeah, as a director, especially if you're also the writer as well, you have a vision of maybe, what the actors are wearing, whether it's light jeans, dark blue jeans, black jeans, but it might get more sort of general, like jeans and a hoodie, you know what I mean? And then the wardrobe department might show you like 5 or 6 pairs of jeans, 5 or 6, hoodies, 5 or 6 pairs of boots, whatever the case is. And you as the director, as the visionary, come in and go, I like that one, and I like that one. That's kind of how I imagine her wearing that. Yeah, that hoodie is what I imagine. Those pair of jeans is what I imagine. You know what I mean? And so, yeah, it can work like that. And again, there's a lot of nuance here. I'm giving you the Cliff Notes, but does a director have a say in wardrobe? Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. But there are entire wardrobe departments that take care of all that. It's all about, every department is working essentially. If you got to think of it like this, every department is working their asses off to appease and to complete the vision of the director. Right? And so, whatever department that is, it all comes down to, what does the director want? What is the vision? And so, how involved the director is, he might trust, if he's worked with the wardrobe before, he might trust the department to do their thing and then kind of come in last minute and go, yeah, that's good, that's fine, whatever the case is. Or they might be heavily involved, and micromanaging, which is probably never a good thing because you'll get on your wardrobe head, the head of the department very easily. But nonetheless, yeah. Let me see here. Thank you, Josh. Appreciate that. And that was a generous super chat of $20. Appreciate it. And then we got Ian Rapash 8015. Thank you. Says, Dave, did you see the new trailer for The Keeper yet? I did. I thought it was pretty cool, showing both sides, and makes me think of what side will end up being true. I don't know. It was kind of cool. And then Kevin Kruger 86 says, will Miss Veda be in your new movie? Probably not. Because that means she would have to leave the house, and have to bring her to set. So no, probably not. Well, maybe in a photograph, maybe. But no, she likely will not be in the movie itself. No. Let me see. Let me see here. Jay Tinsel says, I'm good friends with the Wham guys. That's cool. Question, is Weapons a top 5 movie of the 2020s decade so far? I don't know. I'd have to, it's up there for sure. I really enjoyed it. The only thing, another critique that I didn't like the choice of music that was played when we first saw the kids, not later, but when we first saw the kids exiting, like it's kind of during the prologue, I think, where the girl's narration, she's talking about what's happened. I didn't like the music choice. I just thought it should have been more, I don't know, ominous, but that's me. But I did like the movie very much. And there's a whole show on my channel about it. let me see here. Was there another? Hang on a sec. I just want to make sure I didn't miss any other super chats or anything like that. No, I don't think so. Reminder too, folks, of course, the House on Port Robinson Road campaign. I would like to get to 60%, maybe by the end of tonight, if possible. If you want to do me a solid on my 30,000 subscribers, you could do that. But I'd love to get to 60%. There's under 4 weeks left. There's 3.5 weeks left in the campaign, and we have 44% to make up. So a little bit of a goal here, but I know we could do it. The link is pinned to the top of the chat. Just as a reminder, just want to remind people that is where we're sitting right now on the campaign. We're sitting there on the campaign, $11,385. We're literally $15 away from 57%. And I would love to get to 60% by the end of the show tonight. If 12 people picked up the Bloodbath double feature perk tonight, that would do that. We'd get to 60%. Because I'm always trying to hit 10% a week is what I'm trying to do. And tomorrow marks the 5-week mark with only 3 weeks left. And so, it's 20, there's a couple of days after that, but they give you, a couple of days. But tomorrow will be 25 days. And so basically 3.5 weeks. So we're hitting the wire now. And always remember, you can donate as well. Even if you don't see a perk, you can donate as little or as much as you want. So I would love to get this to 60% tonight by the end of the stream. Again, it's not about, listen, if you have a lot of cash and you have a lot of dough and you want to support, that's amazing. But a lot of these goals are met in the trenches of a lot of people coming in low. So that's just a reminder. I'm just reminding people there is the Bloodbath double feature perk right there. There it is on Friday, October 31st, Halloween night. Even if you can't make it, you can pick up the perk because you'll have the link so you can watch it after the fact. Just remember that. That I'd love to sell that out. We've got 48 people that have picked that up. I'd love to sell it out. We're all Halloween fans here. I don't think there's any reason why we shouldn't be able to sell it out. And so I would love to get this thing into in demand before the 26 days is over. So if tonight you would like to help support the campaign, please do. The link is pinned to the top of the chat room there, and you can help us get to 60% tonight. Now that would be 12,000 Canadian dollars. So it seems like a lot, right? Oh my God, Dave, that's another $600. But if 10 people come in buying the Bloodbath perk, we'll practically be there. So again, it's about a lot of people coming in lower. The Bloodbath perk is only $36 US, and you get to watch Rob Zombie's Halloween 2 and Halloween Kills with me on Halloween night. I'm going to dress up. I encourage you guys to as well. You'll be in the chat room, of course, so I won't see you, but you'll get to see me. And I'm going to be eating munchies and candy, and we're just going to have a blast. It's going to be a lot of fun, but it's limited to 100 people. And it's the Bloodbath double feature perk. It's on the campaign right now. The link is pinned to the top of the chat. Friday, October 31st, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, Rob Zombie's Halloween 2 and Halloween Kills watch along. But again, keep in mind, even if you can't make it, because you're like, I'm not going to buy, I would if I could make it, but I'm not. Well, you still can, because you will have the link. You may not be able to watch it live because of the kids or whatever the case is, but you can watch it after the fact, and you support the campaign. So I'd really love to see if we can get this thing to 60% tonight. It would mean a lot to me, folks. Thank you in advance. We'll check to see if anybody wants to. There's 107 people in here right now. If just 10 of you, are there 10 of you right now that want to pick up the Bloodbath double feature perk? I'm just saying. Let me see here. Kenneth says, the House on Port Robinson Road seems like my type of horror movie. Happy to support it. Yeah, well, I hope it will be. I hope it will be somebody's horror movie. But I've already had some people say, I'd support it, but it's not my kind of horror movie, so forget it. And I'm like, well, what's your kind of horror movie? I want slasher and blood, baby. I'm like, well, okay. Well, yeah, you're right. It's not your kind of horror movie. John Bruce 4003 sends in $4.99. Thank you, John. It says, congrats on 30K, Dave. Thanks, buddy. This was the first channel I ever subscribed to. Always happy to be here. That is really, really cool. That is really cool, man. That is really, really cool. Very cool. Well, thank you for being here. Thank you for being here. Ryan Oshlo says, yes, let's go for 90%, baby. Hey, if we could get to 90% on the campaign tonight, that would be unreal. That would be like mind-blowing. That would be mind-blowing. If all of a sudden I refreshed the page and I saw 90%, it'd be like, what the fuck, man? The crazy thing is, with these live shows, you never know what's going to happen. You never know. Now, again, it's a bit of a different campaign. I understand that. But you still never know. You never know who's watching. You never know who's out there. But my advice to those who maybe been thinking about it, waiting to pull the trigger, don't wait any longer. There's only 3 weeks left, essentially, 3.5 weeks left. Now's the time to do it, because it also helps the algorithms on Indiegogo as well, and more people see it, right? If the campaign stalls and doesn't gain funds, then the algorithms on Indiegogo also see it as nobody's interested, right? It's like YouTube, right? If nobody's watching, guess nobody's interested, which isn't true, but that's how the algorithm, well, it can be true, but it's not necessarily true, right? And so yeah, if you've been waiting to get in on it, I know some people have said, next time, next paycheck. And that's fair. That's totally fair. I mean, you got to be able to afford it. But if you've been waiting to get in on it, now is the time. There's lots of great perks, folks. Like there really is. Again, I understand this is a bit of a different type of campaign, but there's that concept poster. That's a really cool one. There's this concept poster right here with the real house on it. There's this concept poster that has finally made it to the campaign. And remember, you're seeing the funds on your screen here on my show in Canadian dollars. So if you're in the US, it's much cheaper for you. And then, of course, this T-shirt, that T-shirt, a signed concept poster. You also get them signed as well individually. The Bloodbath double feature, of course, which is great. The secret envelope, which is really cool. That's an envelope that you don't know what's in it. There's going to be lots of House on Port Robinson Road goodies, which I think is going to be awesome. 12 people have already picked up that. There's the 3-pack. You get all 3 posters. And if you pick up this pack here, getting all 3, I believe you save about 20% than if you were to pick them up individually. And all 3 of them will be signed by me. So there's that one, which is really cool as well. And then you get a novelty Port Robinson Road street sign. That's pretty darn cool. 2 people picked that one up. And then, of course, there's the real hardcore ghost hunters, the real hardcore ghost, adventure ghost, obsessive ghost fans out there. There's the November Files. The November Files, this here is basically, well, I'll read this to you. This is a link to a private video tour of the real photographs taken during the many visits to the house. And then now, this is not going to be like a 1-minute video. This is going to be an in-depth video narrated by me with context, stories, and personal insight of each photo. And it also includes a social media thank you and, of course, a signed concept poster number 2. That's the one with the house on it. That's pretty darn cool. Then there's the November Files Plus, which is you get everything in the November Files, plus the actual audio. You get a private link to a video with the never before heard audio. Yes, you'll hear the Don't EVP and all that, but all the other audio that we collected from the house. There's lots of juicy shit you haven't even heard of, I haven't even talked to you about. There's the November Files Plus. That's the audio and the November Files. So you get those 2 together. And of course, you also get a social media thank you and the signed concept poster number 2. But if you want to go one step further, there's the November Files Platinum. Remember, prices are in Canadian dollars, much cheaper for you in the US and in the UK. This is, you get everything in the November Files and the Plus one as well, but you also get a private link that features rare clips, video clips from the house itself in a video, my narration again, giving context. This footage is framed with Dave McRae's narration, including a walkthrough of the house in the real house on Port Robinson Road in the dead of winter at night alongside a fellow group member who recalls seeing a little girl dancing. Yes, that video is going to be on there as well with others too. That's the November Files Platinum. Then if you want to go one step further into the final stage, we've had 2 people pick this up already, which is awesome. It's the November Files Legacy tier. So this is, you get everything. You pick up this perk, that's $9.50 Canadian, much cheaper for you in the US, even cheaper for you in the UK. If you pick up this perk, you get everything on the campaign. every single thing on the campaign. Plus your name etched on a founder wall on my official website, davemcraeofficial.com. You'll get your name etched digitally, of course, on a founder wall there. And you get a private link to a live stream with me and some of my college friends who really experienced the house on Port Robinson Road, having a live show where we reminisce and we talk about it. Some of these people I haven't seen in 25 years, and we talk about it and we reminisce. There's a Q&A. You get to ask questions. That's part of the legacy tier as well. And so that's pretty darn cool. And so the November Files tiers are basically the story that inspired the movie, The House on Port Robinson Road. So if you're really into that, this might be up your alley. Again, this experience, folks, is inspired by true events from my second year of college in November 2000. But this was long before social media and smartphones and ghost hunting shows and Ghost Whisperer and Ghost Adventures and Taps and all these, what the hell are those? Like all the YouTube ghost hunting show. This is before, we didn't call ourselves ghost hunters. This is before, this is kind of like, we were like part of the group, like the OGs. This is like, this is, original shit. And so we don't have like EKE meters and ghost hunting meters and lights flashing and all these, we didn't have that. That's not how this was. This is 25 years ago. And so it's really cool to listen through that perspective, listening to actual audio, recorded analog, right? It's coming from an analog cassette, right? Watching video recorded on 8mm camcorder, right? Looking at photographs that were taken on film, not, cell phones. So it's a really, really cool experience just by virtue of looking at and hearing and watching all this stuff from so long ago. And so if you're really into that kind of thing, or if you know somebody who's into that kind of thing, this might be up your alley. I'm just saying. It's got to be up somebody's alley. So I just wanted to remind people of the perks that are there. And so I just want to remind people of that. Again, 3-pack of the concept posters. Who doesn't want these? Signed by me. You save 20% if you pick up all 3. Really, really, really cool. Because one day this movie is going to be made and you could have early artwork. Because I have no idea if this is going to be the official artwork for the movie. I have no idea. I'm not at that stage yet. I might not even be in charge of that. But you could pick this up and you could have something that might be worth a lot one day. You never know. It might be worth dog shit as well. but nonetheless, it would be really, really cool. Like I have this early concept art, that nobody else has. That's pretty cool, right? That's pretty cool. So lots of cool stuff, folks. But if there's one perk that I think we could sell out, which, come on, there's 30,000 subscribers. There's over 100 of you in the chat room right now that watch me all the time. We've got to be able to sell this out, right? I know that maybe some people are apprehensive because, well, Dave, I would if you weren't watching Rob Zombie's Halloween 2 and Halloween Kills. And it's like, I understand that. But the reason why I chose Rob Zombie's Halloween 2 and Halloween Kills is because I wanted to spread the love around. We always watch the same Halloween movies over and over again. Just last Halloween, I had Darren from The Slaughtered Lamb on, and we watched Halloween 1, 2, and 4. Well, I watched Halloween 1, 2, and 4. Darren joined me to watch, 1 and 2. But we always talk about those movies, watch those movies. And so I thought, why not do something different, something I don't normally do, but still really cool. And I thought, well, what are the 2 most bloodiest, goriest, violent Halloween films? And according to online, it's Rob Zombie's Halloween 2 and Halloween Kills. And so I thought, well, there we go. There it is. And so I thought this might be kind of fun. So hopefully we can sell it out. I think that would be really cool. It's about $37 US. It goes to a great cause, which of course is the development funds of the house on Port Robinson Road. And it would be great. It would be great to sell it out because it'd be a lot. And again, even if you can't make it, because some people have said to me, I would totally, Dave, I would buy it, I would support it, but I'm busy that night because I'm trick-or-treating with my kids. I'm going to see John Carpenter live. Somebody said that. I'm going to a Metallica concert or something, some other concert or something. And then I responded and said, hey, totally cool. That's amazing. That's awesome. Absolutely. That takes priority. But if you still want to, you can watch it after, because you can pick up the perk. You will be sent a link in the email. And then when you get home that night or the next morning, you could watch it. It won't be live, but you can still watch it. And I never heard back. So I don't know if if some of these people, maybe they were just saying that. I don't know. But if you are serious about supporting it and actually do worry that not being live will deter, don't worry about it. You'll have the link. You'll have the link, and you could watch it indefinitely for the rest of time, because it's a private link that's not going to go anywhere. So anyways, I digress. But yeah, really, really exciting. And so folks, again, if possible, I would love to get to 60% tonight. Again, I don't know if I'm going to get to 60% tonight, but it would, oh, hey, amazing. We've jumped to 57%. We've jumped a couple of hundred. That is awesome. That is awesome. So now we're less than $500 away from 60%. That's pretty awesome. I like this. I like this. Again, it's just about momentum, right? I'm not trying to beat a dead horse here. It's just about momentum. The reason why people who crowdfund, or I can't speak for everybody, but, like me, and I'm always talking about it, and, I use these shows, to promote it, is because, if I don't do it, who's going to do it? And it's a development campaign. So it's not as exciting. And, so I really got to push it. I want to get this thing into in demand, so that way the campaign can just sit there. And then I can continue to raise more money towards the stretch goals indefinitely. And if I do great. If I don't, but at least it's there, right? The last thing I want to do, and let's be honest, the last thing you guys probably want me to do, is make another campaign that I have to now jump on and get, do you know what I mean? If the campaign goes into in demand, well, then you'll see me every now and then promote it, right? You know what I mean? Because it's in demand, and now, it's there. But so that's why it's so important to reach our goals, right? And so, but anyways, that's amazing. Let me see who these people were. Thank you. You guys are awesome. Let's just see, or maybe it was one person, I don't know, but let's just see here what's going on. We've got, this is great. We've got Sean Sheridan donated $2. Thank you, Sean. Really appreciate that. Marissa Allen donated $40. Thank you. Marissa Allen also picked up the signed concept poster number 3. Thank you, Marissa. Amazing. Marissa, you've been a great supporter on this campaign, and I think you've also supported our campaigns in the past as well. Awesome. Thank you, Marissa. Amazing. That third concept was pretty good, eh? Yeah, it's pretty cool. Lots of layers in there too, which is really awesome. And then of course you also donated $40. Thank you. Trey donated $15. Thank you. And then Victor Andre, am I saying that right? Picked up the Bloodbath double feature. Thank you, Victor. I don't know if you're going to be able to make it live, but if you can, awesome. I will see you there, buddy. Awesome. But even if not, I mean, watch it the next day. And my streams are always entertaining. So, I mean, I'm just saying. And me watching Rob Zombie's Halloween 2 and Halloween Kills, dressed up, eating Halloween candy. I mean, who doesn't want to watch that? Even if you have to watch it after the fact, who doesn't want to watch that? I'm just saying. But anyway. Let me see here. So it's there, folks. It's there. Let's see if we can get to 60% tonight. It's another $448. So that would mean like another, 10 people pick up the Bloodbath perk, or it could be somebody picking up like a poster, a Bloodbath perk, the poster. It could be a number of things, but let's see if we can get to 60% tonight. If we get to 60% tonight, we're still on our goals, okay? So there's a website that I use to track momentum. It's called BackerKit, and BackerKit is a website that you can see the momentum of your campaign, and it shows you if you're going to reach your goal or not, depending on the momentum that you have. And right now, it says we're going to reach our goal, but it's just kind of barely there. You know what I mean? If we keep up the momentum of the last few days, right? But if we can get to 60% tonight, that helps the momentum again, right? And then we kind of go up a little bit in the percentage of us, reaching our goal. So crowdfunding ain't easy, folks. It ain't easy, but you guys are amazing. You guys are amazing. Josh Stevens, Jossie, one of our great supporters here on the channel and one of our big supporters for the house on Port Robinson Road, says, congrats on the Dirty 30. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. He's talking about the subscriber count, not my age. For those of you that might just be tuning in, I'm not really sure. Well deserved. This is the first and only channel I ever became a member of, and the first channel I bothered to figure out super chats. Keep up the great work. Thank you. Amazing. Well, thank you, Josh. I really appreciate that. And again, thank you for being such a, such a great supporter here on the channel. It means a lot. And I did, by the way, I don't know if I did respond to, you had emailed me about a month or so ago, and I did respond to that. And that was a very nice email that you sent. I hadn't heard from you, so I didn't know if you had received it or not. So I just want to say that I did respond to you. I didn't want you to think that I didn't respond. So very nice email, and I appreciate that very much. And excuse me, hang on a sec here. There we go. So yeah, 30,000 subs, folks. 30,000 subs. Pretty darn cool. 30,000 subscribers, I think, is pretty darn cool. Oh, look at this. You guys, look at this. We are now at 58%. Oh, we are closing the gap, bitches. We're closing the gap. I'm digging this. I'm really liking this. Let's see who that was. You got to get unbelievable, folks. Unbelievable. Let's see who that was here. You guys are rocking it. We've got Daz. Daz just picked up the secret mystery envelope. Ooh. I love it. I'm so glad you picked that up. I think you're the 13th person that has picked that up now, but it's going to be cool. I don't tell you what's in it. It's like one of those mystery boxes that you see at like conventions and stuff with like an X on it, or you just have to spend money and whatever's in it, is in it. I thought that might be a cool perk. And so, but I figured to make it easier, I would make it like an envelope. So it's not like big things I have to, because, that could get expensive, because the bigger and heavier things are to ship, the more expensive they have to be on the campaign, right? And so I thought, something that would be really cool, really valuable for the house on Port Robinson Road, but you can send in an envelope form. You know what I mean? So I don't want to say what that is. I have a lot of ideas that are circulating right now, but thank you for picking that up. That's really cool. So you just have to take a chance. Whatever it is, baby. Whatever it is. But no, I think you're going to like it. So that's that. Thank you, Daz. I really appreciate that. He's bumped us up to 11,642, 58%, ladies and gentlemen, 58%. That means we are literally, 360 something bucks away now from 60%, which is where I wanted to be, by going into tomorrow. So really appreciate that, guys. Thank you. And again, anybody out there want to watch Halloween with me on Halloween night? I'm just saying, the reason why I promote that a lot is because it's Halloween. We're all Halloween fans. It feels like a no-brainer to me. Like it feels like with 30,000 subscribers, I should be able to get 100 people to join. It feels like that's a no-brainer, but hey, everybody's different. Everybody, I get it. And B, it's a great price point. Right? It's a great price point. It's right in that pocket that you would spend if you were picking up a Blu-ray. Like if I had Blu-rays on the campaign, you'd probably spend about the same. Actually, you would spend more if you were picking up a Blu-ray because there would be shipping on top of that. You'd spend more. So, there's no shipping on this because it's a digital perk, right? So anyways, that's why I'm like, oh, we should be able to sell this out, right? I mean, you'd think. I don't know. Let me see here. Let's see what everybody is saying. Alley Girl, what's going on, Alley Girl? Great to see you here. Ryan Oshlow here. Evil Alex, Scared Straight Productions. Let me see here. Josh Stevens. Oh, there he says, yeah, dog, I got it. I just don't want to jam up your inbox. No, that's all right. No worries. I just want to make sure you got it because I didn't know because, when somebody sends a very nice email like that, I want to make sure that I respond accordingly. So I appreciate what you said in that email. Let me see here. Fishing with Fishgall says, definitely picking up the Halloween stream perk on Friday, Dave. On Friday. Okay. All right. He's picking it up Friday. It's payday. He's picking it up, baby. He's picking it up. I love it. Thank you, buddy. I really appreciate that. Allie Girl says, me too, Ryan. I'm definitely grabbing the perk. Awesome. I love it. Again, a reminder, just 3.5 weeks left in the campaign. It's going to tick by really fast. But we're doing well. And I appreciate that very, very much. And Michael King says, Kills has a lot of issues, but Myers ain't one of them. He is awesome in that film. I could not agree more. Halloween Kills, I think, is he's not the issue in that movie. And so it's going to be fun to watch. I haven't watched the last time I watched Rob Zombie's Halloween 2 was when I watched it with Tony, I think on our 100th episode of Two Dudes and Some Bullshit, like 3 or 4 years ago? That's the last time I watched Rob Zombie's Halloween 2. The last time I watched Halloween Kills would have been probably with Tony on an episode of Two Dudes when we watched it together. I haven't watched either of these movies in probably at least 3 or 4 years. 4 years, probably. So it's been a minute, as the kids say. So I'm looking forward to revisiting these movies again. And the crazy thing is, am I going to change my mind? Am I going to suddenly walk away from Rob Zombie's Halloween 2? Now that there's been am I going to walk away from it going, you know what? It's not that bad. Is that going to happen? I doubt that's going to happen. But it'd be really funny if it did. It would be really, really funny if it did. Really funny if it did. I don't know if it's going to happen, but it would be really funny if it did. Did I get all the super chats, folks, and member chats? I just want to make sure. John Bruce, Sean Sheridan donated to. Oh, right. Oh, I see. Yeah. Yes. Oh, you did send in the. Thank you. Yes, I appreciate that. Sean, thank you. Dave, I'm going to, right. Josh got that one. Oh, here's one just came in. Two just came in. Okay, great. I just want to make sure I'm not missing any because I know I'm rambling a lot here and that tends to happen. It's Texas Chainsaw Day. It's Texas Chainsaw Day today? August 18th. Oh, I see what you're saying. I was thinking of the release date. I was like, no. The release date's October 11th, 1974. I know that because it's the same date that Black Christmas was released and the same day that It's Me, Billy Chapter 2 was released. In the movie. Yeah. I didn't even think of that. Yeah, that's right. All right. Yeah. Brandon Barry sends in $5. Thanks, Brandon. Says, Dave, if there was one movie that needs a remake, what would that movie be for you? Thanks. That needs a remake? Well, nothing good. If I'm going to remake a movie, it's going to be something that I don't like, right? And so something I was disappointed in. Jesus. A movie that needs a remake. I don't know, dude. I'd have to really think about that. A movie that needs a remake. What does the chat room think? Maybe the chat room will get my wheels turning. I'd love to know what the chat room thinks on that. I'm not entirely sure, but I'd like to know. Let me see. I don't know. Needs a remake. Because no good movie needs a remake. Right? So it would be bad movies. Maybe Slender Man. They could have done Slender Man really taken it seriously. Made it more like a true crime kind of thing. Because it is based on a real thing, of course. Maybe that would have been a bit touchy. I don't know. But maybe that. I don't know. I'd have to think. I'm not really sure. So still sitting at 58%. 11642. So now we're at. Yeah, it basically if 7 people right now picked up the Bloodbath perk, we'll make it to 60%. And Medusia sends in $5, says, if you changed your mind on Rob Zombie's Halloween 2, I'd unsubscribe immediately, Dave. Just kidding. Could you imagine though, if I actually did? Could you imagine if I'm like, wow, I'm stunned. I'm stunned. I don't know what to say. I actually quite like the movie. I actually agree with Dean Renner here, who says movies that could use modern remakes, The Burning and The Prowler. That's actually not bad. Now, I know that Darren from The Slaughtered Lamb and Mr. Sandsman loves The Burning. He loves The Burning. I like The Burning, but I don't love it. I don't have the same affection for it that Darren does. And that's okay, right? Different strokes for different folks. Like, I love the original Friday the 13th. And he's like, you know. He doesn't hate it. He doesn't hate it, but, you know, I think he feels kind of the same way about that as I do The Burning. I like The Burning, but I'm just like, you know. And so for me, but I wouldn't say The Burning was a bad movie. But yes, that maybe, yeah. I wouldn't mind seeing, weren't they going to do that though? I thought they were going to do that, but I'm not entirely sure. And Josh says Halloween Ends needs a remake. Yeah. You never know. You may be right. Movie Chat and More sends in $5. Oh, yeah, $5. Thank you. Excuse me, £5. Says, hey Dave, hope you were well. Do you think they will ever remake Jaws? We all know they will screw it up big time. Well, I mean, there's a good chance they would screw it up if they remade it. I don't think there's any desire to remake it. Maybe one day, but you can just make a different shark movie, which is what they do. They just make different shark movies. Like, you don't necessarily have to specifically make Jaws. You could make another shark movie that's similar to, like, it's, you know, it's kind of in the same sort of spirit as Jaws, and people could, you know, compare the parallels, but specifically remaking Jaws, you know, and the characters are Chief Brody, Quint, Hooper, you know, Ellen Brody, like it's a remake. It's a clearly a remake. I don't know. And there's no need to. Like, there really is no need to. The only reason that you would remake it is because you can do, there's no need to. It's one of those films that there's just no need to. And if it wasn't for Bob Gale and Robert Zemeckis, they absolutely would have remade Back to the Future by now. Absolutely. It's in the world we live in today of 80s nostalgia and, you know, UAPs and UFOs and time travel and all these, you know, topics that are really hot and interesting. They would have remade Back to the Future 100%. Thank goodness for Bob. Now, the sad thing is that when those two die, we will likely see a remake of Back to the Future at some point, but which is unfortunate because it doesn't need it. It doesn't need it. And, you know, but anyways, yeah. But no, I don't think they'll ever remake, Jaws. I don't think there's any need to remake Jaws. I don't think they will ever remake Jaws. Let me see here. Back to the Future with Tom Holland. Yeah, I heard something like that. I heard something with, you know, I mean, he actually, well, he might be a little old now. Now he can play younger. Michael J. Fox was like 25 playing somebody who was like, you know, 17. How old is Tom Holland? Maybe maybe. Listen, I'll tell you what, if they ever did remake it, like if they were remaking it right now, he would have to be on the list. It's a good choice. It's a good choice. I could see him as a Marty for sure. But I don't know. We'll have to see. Brandon Collins says, let's see a remake to a disappointing film like The Devil's Own so they can get it right. That film was almost good. You know, I agree with that. The Devil's Own was, I remember they had a lot of issues on it. Of course, that was when having Brad Pitt and Harrison Ford in the same movie was like, you know, the young and up-and-comer heartthrob with the aging heartthrob of two generations of heartthrobs. You know, it was very much sort of billed like that. And I remember that. Yeah, you're right. It was almost good, but it wasn't awful. It was okay. It was considering the trouble they had on it. You're like, yeah, it's okay, you know, but you're right. It could have been great. Yeah, no, I agree with that. Let me just see here. Looking at, So okay. So the backers have gone up, but wait, did I miss? Hang on a sec here. The backers have gone up. Did I miss something? Was it, let me just check something here. Yes. Okay. We've gone up by $10. So that means somebody must have picked up either donated $10 or picked up the shout out perk. And it was a social media shout out. Jordan Davenport. Thank you, Jordan. I really appreciate that. Picked up the social media shout out. Thank you, thank you, thank you. So yeah, so now we're basically $350 away from 60%, folks. $350 away from 60%. And that's not me saying that somebody has to come in and drop $350 all at once, although you can if you would like to. But like I said, all that would be is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It's basically it's basically 6 people picking up the Bloodbath double feature perk right there. If 6 people right now picked up that perk, we'd be there. Well, we'd be almost there. We'd be like, a couple dollars away. But we'd be there. We'd be there. So that's how easy it is, folks. The link to the Indiegogo campaign is pinned to the top of the chat. It's pinned to the top of the chat. JDS4696 says, hey, Dave, congratulations on reaching 30,000 subscribers. I'm happy for you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I appreciate that very much. Let me see. I don't, I would love to donate, but SSI? Social security insurance, maybe? Is that what that, I don't know what that means, but maybe it means something like that. Let me see here. Josh Brolin. You mean like as the doctor? I don't know. I don't think I don't know if that's what you're talking about, but let me go back. Tom Holland is 29. He's 29. Yeah. So I think he's a little old. Unless you, again, it would be a remake. So unless you are restructuring the story, maybe he's a college kid, not a high school kid, right? You could do that. You could take some creative liberties, update it a bit more. And then it's believable because he could play somebody who's 24 or 25. He's still youthful enough that he could do it. He's probably still youthful enough that he's barely, but 17 though, he's he's in the process of aging out of that. Although, I mean, Leonardo DiCaprio played young for a long time. 23? Oh, but Brandon says he's 29. Tom Holland's 29. Yeah, no, it makes sense. It makes sense. Makes sense. Because he was like 17 or 18 or 19 or however old he was when he made his debut, right? In the, what was it? Civil War or whatever the one was where he came in at the end or something. I forget now. Yeah, Lord of Dogtown says, I would argue that every shark film is a remake of itself. Yeah, might be some truth to that. Michael King says, Jaws 5, the shark is coming for Ellen Brody in the retirement home. Could you imagine? This time it's personal. This time it's personal, ladies and gentlemen. This time it is personal. Let me see here. Let me scroll. I just want to make sure. Oh, we've gone up again. Look at that. We've gone up again. Oh, we're closing in on just basically $300 away from 60%. We've got it, 60%. We've got to do it, folks. I believe in this community that we can hit 60% tonight. And 60% with 3.5 weeks to go is really good. Is really good. So we've got Amy Wade. Amy Wade comes in with concept poster number 3. Thank you, Amy. Thank you very much. It's a pretty cool poster. I'm just saying. And then Eric Martinez. What's going on? Eric Martinez picks up the Bloodbath double feature. Awesome. So that means Eric will be in the chat room with us live, or if Eric is busy on Halloween night, he'll have the link anyway, so he'll get to watch it that night, that weekend, whenever he wants to watch it. So that's really cool. Thank you, Eric. Really, really appreciate that, man. Thank you so much. So yeah, this is cool. So again, see how easy it is? I mean, it's always cool when the big boys come in and they drop bombs, right? They pick up a big perk or they donate, a lot of money. And that's really cool and really awesome. And it means the world to me when those people do that. But like all crowdfunding campaigns, these wars are fought and won in the trenches. And that just means like, you know, okay, you're gonna pick up that little perk, you're gonna pick up that little perk, you're gonna pick up that perk, and then it just adds up, right? It adds up. And it goes to show you, I mean, if just four people, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 people, I guess. If 6 people, that's not a lot, that's 6 people, picked up the Bloodbath perk right now, we'd be at 60%. Like, that's how easy it is, right? Like, you know what I mean? So it goes to show you that it's those little ones, right? And a lot of campaigns will structure it that way on purpose, because we understand that a lot of these wars are won in the trenches, in the hard fought battles with the smaller perks, because although we really love and appreciate those who have, you know, who want to spend more, and that's amazing, we know that not everybody can, right? And so it's always important to have certain points that make sense for everybody, or for most people. Anyway, so yeah, very cool that we've gone up again. We're inching there, man. We're getting close. James McMillan 799, one of our members, sends in a member chat. Thank you. Says, hi, what's up? How are you doing today? I'm doing pretty good. How are you doing, James? Congratulations on 30,000 subscribers. Congratulations. I love being a member and subscribe to your YouTube channel. Keep up the amazing work. I love your videos. Big fan, and good luck on the movie. Well, thank you, James. I really appreciate that. And thank you for being a member here on the channel. I really do appreciate that. You know, just supporting the channel each and every month. Being a member here, it's awesome, man. Thank you. And thanks for the support. I really appreciate it. Josh Stevens sends in $9.99 and says, one of my favorite memories of your channel, besides It's Me, Billy, was your big multi-horror channel stream during COVID lockdowns. It was so fun. I thought at one point you wanted to strangle Jay. Is it true? Jay from We Watched a Movie? Our big multi-horror channel stream. Do you mean the shows that I did on my channel, or the shows that I was a part of? Like the Hallows stream shows and all that? Do you mean those shows? I wanted to strangle Jay? I don't remember. I don't know. You'll have to give me some more context, Josh. But I do remember that period. I mean, that, the summer of 2020 was, yes. Or he says yes. Yeah, no, I loved being on those shows. Yeah, it was me, Mike and Jay from Wham, Wolfman's Got Nards, Lee McCoy. I think it was even Cody Leach at that time. I think it was the first couple of ones, I think, were before Jimmy Champagne came on. But yeah, no, that was it was a lot of fun. I was honored to be on there and be part of the panel and talk some Halloween, and it was great. It was a lot of, I don't remember wanting to strangle Jay. I don't know why I would. I mean, all in good fun if I did, of course, but I don't recall what, I mean, it was 5 years ago, so I'm not really sure. But that was amazing. I mean, right in the middle of a pandemic, we launched an Indiegogo campaign looking to raise $60,000 Canadian, about 45,000 US. Right in the middle of a pandemic, when everybody's pinching pennies and, buying toilet paper and not working and staying inside. And we did it. We did it, which goes to, it was one of the most humbling things in my life. It goes to show you that these people really believed in you and Bruce and the project, and all. It was unbelievable, and I mean, yeah, it was just amazing. So I remember that summer very, very well. And I remember those shows. Yeah, man. God, it feels like forever ago now, but yeah, really cool. Really, really cool. The October, what's her name? October Children, maybe? Sends in $5. Thank you, buddy. Appreciate that. Says, what's up, Dave? Congratulations on reaching 30,000 subscribers. I was wondering, do you have a favorite Elvis album or film of his? That is a great question. Do you have a favorite Elvis album or film of his? Hold that thought there, buddy. Hold that thought. Look at this. We are at 59%, ladies and gentlemen, 59%. We are now less than $200 away from 60% on the campaign. Could we get to 65? Okay. I don't want to push it. I'm just saying. 60% is within striking distance right now, folks. 59%. We are $197 away that's basically 4 people. If 4 people right now, just 4 people, there's 100 people watching. If 4 people right now just picked up the Bloodbath double feature perk, we'd be there. Unbelievable how easy and quickly it can rise. But anyways, I just want to say thank you to whoever that was, or maybe it was a couple of people. Let me just see who that was. I'll get back to your question. Hold that thought. Elvis Presley, favorite movie or album. We've got Jordan Davenport donate. Oh, wait a minute. Maybe it hasn't. Oh, no, there we go. Oh, sorry. I was looking at yours from earlier. Jordan Davenport donated another $10. Thank you, Jordan. Amazing. Damian Ortiz picked up the Bloodbath double feature. Thank you, Damian Ortiz. You were awesome. Hope to see you there, but even if I can't, you'll have the link. Richard David Hall, is this Movie Chat and More? It might be. Donated $10. Thank you, Richard. And then Eric Martinez picked up the Bloodbath double feature. Thank you, Eric. Oh no, I think I gave you a shout out earlier. Or did you pick up something else? I think I already gave you a shout out. So we've got Jordan, Damian, and Richard picked up the Bloodbath. Amazing. Awesome stuff, guys. Thank you. We are almost there. Favorite Elvis Presley. I don't have a favorite Elvis Presley album. I don't have a favorite Elvis Presley movie, although I will say most of his movies, I think King Creole is good. I think that's a good movie. Very James Dean-like, But his movies were really, as my father used to say, they were just a lot of his movies were just vehicles for him to, play music and sell songs, and so they weren't the greatest. I mean, some were better than others, but they weren't actually, they weren't great. Songs, oh my God. I mean, Big Boss Man, All Shook Up, Marie's the Name, Don't Be Cruel. Obviously, Jailhouse Rock, Love Me Tender. I mean, oh God. It's Now or Never is great. Suspicious Minds that's a classic. They're all classics. I'm trying to think of some ones. I even like the Christmas one. Santa, bring my baby back to me. Santa, bring my baby back to me. I don't need a lot of presents to make my Christmas bright. All I need is my baby's arms wrapped around me tight. Oh, Santa, hear my pleas. It's great. I love it. It's got such a great little catchy tune. There's so many. I mean, I grew up on Elvis because of my dad, and so he actually, just August 16th, just 2 days ago, this past Saturday, was the 48th anniversary of his death. He died on August the 16th, 1977. And my dad was going to meet him. That fall. And he died beforehand. Anyway, so I don't know if I have a favorite album, but songs for sure. I mean, there's all sorts of songs. I mean, Jesus. I mean, I could go on. There's all sorts of songs, but I like a lot of his music. For sure. Josh McKenna, $9.99. Thank you, Josh. Says, I remember you said you can't pitch a movie unsolicited to Netflix. That's true. You can't pitch a movie unsolicited to any studio. I assume the music industry is the same? Yes. Well, yes. I mean, look, there's nuances, obviously, but generally speaking, yes. You can't just send a song unsolicited to a label expecting to make it big overnight. Correct. It's not, unfortunately, like it was 50 years ago where, gone are the days where I could just, go down to Universal, hop on the Universal Backlot Tour and jump off halfway through, sneak behind a building, sneak into a building, look for an empty office, set up an office, and pretend I work there. You know who did that? Steven Spielberg. And you can't do that now. You would be arrested, thrown on the ground, knee to the neck, handcuffed, probably thrown in jail. I mean, you can't, gone. I mean, it was so much, Gone are those days. There's security cameras everywhere. There's security everywhere. It's a much more hyper vigilant, skeptical, side eye kind of, world. It's much, much different. And it was illegal what Spielberg did back then too. It was just easier to do it back then, and so. Yeah, no, you can't do. Generally speaking, more than generally, really, how you get an in with a studio is there's several ways, but two of the big ways are you have representation, right, and your agent who represents you as a filmmaker, as a director, writer, has contacts with the major studios. And they have an in there. So they reach out on your behalf. They make the connections, the contacts, blah, blah, blah. And there's no guarantees there either, but that's somebody, that's the middleman or woman. And that's the person that reaches out on your behalf because it's no longer unsolicited. It's coming from a major agency, a major talent agency. And it's like, oh, okay, what is this? And that doesn't mean that they're going to want to talk to you, but it's an in, it's an avenue. Another way is somebody somebody who works at the studio, who can speak on your behalf, who is in a senior position where their word carries some weight, who can speak on your behalf. There's never any guarantees in this business, no matter who it is. But that is another avenue. Somebody, or somebody who's in that position who knows somebody, right? Who then can, it's all about relationships. This business, a lot of the times, it's about who you know. It's about relationships. Listen, there have been not many, but I'll say there have been a few times in my life where I have listened to somebody who has sent me a demo, or I've gotten to know somebody who has wanted to get into the voiceover industry, and I've listened to their stuff, or I've, got to know them a little bit, and they're looking for an agent. And I say, well, let me put your name forward to my agent. Now there's no guarantees. But you are very talented, and there might be some. I don't know if they already have you on the roster, right? And what I mean by you, your sound, your personality, your cadence, your type. They already might have 3 of you, which means they don't need you right now. Or they might not have you, and they may go, and so I've done that a couple of times in my life, but I have to believe in the person. I have to recognize talent. I have to, and anybody in this position would, because your name is on the line, right? I'm not going to speak on behalf of someone I think is crap, right? Or I think is dog shit and doesn't have a hope in hell on making it past anything. I mean, I would never do that because I'm speaking, it's my, you know what I mean? And so, but there's been a couple of times where I've done that, with somebody I'm like, this kid's really talented, and now I don't know what's come of that. I don't know, but I just put the name through, and sometimes I hear, sometimes they get in touch with me and say, I have a meeting, or, whatever, or I haven't heard back. There's never any guarantees, but that's another way, right? Who this is a business, especially, any business is, but especially show business is a business about relationships, nurturing and building those relationships, trying not to fracture those relationships as best you can, being authentic and being true, not selling out, but, nurturing the relationships where you can and what, sees fit. And so those are 2 ways. There's other ways as well, but those are 2 of the big ways. So no, I can't just call up Netflix and go, hey man, what's going on? I got the best fucking thing, man, because everybody thinks they have the next best fucking thing. Everybody no, man, my thing's I got the best. And if they actually accepted unsolicited material, do you know how many fucking people would be sending shit? And do you know how many great, brilliant scripts there would be? This many. If 10,000 people submitted their scripts, maybe 3 would be great. That's how this business works. Do you know what I mean? Because they're looking for, again, you don't have to necessarily be the next Godfather, but they're looking for talent. They're looking for vision. They're looking for talent. They're looking for voice. They're looking for something where they go, hey, there might be something here. You know what I'm saying? And most scripts are not like that. Again, there's varying degrees. It's a spectrum, but I'm just trying to, give a hard truth, right? So no, they cannot. They can't. They can't. This is everybody. God, look at all this shit we got to sift through. Great question though, Josh. Thank you very much. Let me scroll down here. Let me see. Oh, ladies and gentlemen. What the hell had just happened? 12,452. 62%. 62%, ladies and gentlemen. $12,452. We passed it. Could we get to 65 tonight? Is it possible? Could we get to 65 tonight? Oh my God, look what just happened here, ladies and gentlemen. Unbelievable. Unbelievable, ladies and gentlemen. You are stepping up. You're saying no. You're saying, fuck it, we'll do it live. Fuck it, we'll do it live. That's what you're saying. That's what you're saying. Unbelievable, ladies and gentlemen. Unbelievable. Holy snapping crap. We didn't just hit 60% tonight, folks. We sailed past it. We sailed past it. You guys stepped up. You said, no, Dave, no. We are not going to hit, Dave, we're not hitting 60% tonight. We are sailing past 60% tonight, and we're not hitting 61% tonight. Oh, no. We are hitting 62% tonight. What? It's like Scooby-Doo. Ruh-roh. Hey, Scoob. Unbelievable. Shaggy and Scooby are here. Hey, what's going on, Dave? It was amazing. Kind of sounds like Marty McFly, too. Hey, Doc, what's happening? It's a cross between Marty McFly and Scooby-Doo. Unbelievable, ladies and gentlemen. Look, Jesus. Now it's like, is 65 within reach? I don't want to get crazy, but it's definitely within reach. It's definitely within reach. But that is unbelievable, ladies and gentlemen. Let's go over and see who this was, or the several people it was. Just give a shout out. Unbelievable. You guys are amazing, ladies and gentlemen. Amazing. Oh my goodness. Unbelievable. So we've got, you guys are amazing. We've got, I left off at Jordan Davenport. We've got Matthew Moody. Matthew Moody coming in hot, picking up the Bloodbath double feature. Thank you, Matthew. I can't wait to see you there. Unbelievable. Matthew Moody coming in hot. I'll save the big one for last. We've got Richard David Hall coming in with another $10 donation. Thank you, Richard. Amazing. We've got Alicia L. Smith coming in with a signed poster number 2. Alicia, thank you very much, Alicia. Signed poster number 2. The Dead Speak one. That's the one where it's the only subtitle on that one. That's a great one. Thank you. And then, of course, we have Karl Allen Weidman. Karl Weidman, ladies and gentlemen, one of our longtime viewers here, just picked up the November Files Platinum. Just picked up the November Files Platinum. That means he's going to get the video. He's going to get the audio. He's going to get the photos. Oh, this is great. This is great. Oh, it's juicy stuff, man. I'm going to have a lot of fun building these because I haven't started yet, but I'm going to have a lot of fun making these videos for you guys because it's a trip down memory lane for me, right? Because I've got all these photos and video and audio. It's going to be so much fun going through it. But thank you so much, ladies and gentlemen. Unbelievable. Sitting at now 62%. Sitting at 62%. What a terrific jump for the campaign tonight with 26 days left, ladies and gentlemen. That is awesome. That is awesome. This is great. This is great. We're inching closer and closer to getting this thing in demand. And again, folks, in case you're new and you don't know, these are development funds for the House on Port Robinson Road, an original psychological horror drama with supernatural elements. I think you will. I'm so excited about this film. It's just great. So again, thank you very much to everybody who has donated to the campaign tonight. That is just awesome. If you want to donate, pick up a perk. The link is pinned to the top of the chat room. Don't forget to do that. It would be greatly appreciated, but that's a good spot to be rolling into week number 5. Again, I mean, there's only 26 days now. This time tomorrow, it will be 25 days. So it's ticking down a lot faster than you think, ladies and gentlemen. But that's just awesome. Thank you so much. Awesome. Brandon Collins, to play us out? To play us out? I don't even know what that means. What does that mean, play us out? No, I'll do it. You just... Unbelievable. Crazy. Let me see here. Been subscribed since 2017. Now, if possible, might become a member. Oh, it's possible. It's absolutely possible. You just have to hit that join button. It's absolutely possible. You just have to hit that join button. But yes, it is. Let me see. Did I miss any questions or anything? Any super chats, member chats? Well, I was going off on a tangent there. I was going crazy for that. Hey, I did. Carl Wyman sends in a member chat, says, "Hi, Dave. I believe in you and your project." Unbelievable. Oh, Carl has been a member for 23 months. Amazing. Thank you, Carl. I mean, thank you so much. Awesome. And then Matthew Moody says, "Hi, Dave. Hope everything is well. I picked up the Bloodbath double." Awesome, buddy. Thank you so much. Amazing. I got to look to these as well. Yeah, awesome. So cool, guys. Thank you so much for doing that. It's really cool. I think you're really going to like these. Because again, I mean, the November File perks are really cool because, again, it's the real story behind the story, right? You know what I mean? So it's going to be a lot of fun to piece that together. So again, thank you so much, guys. We've hit 62%. That's awesome. It's nice seeing that little pink bar get, closer and closer to our goal. Is 12,005. I mean, if one more person picks up the Bloodbath double feature, we'll be at 12,500. Could we get to 63 tonight? I mean, I kind of want to say 65, but I don't want to push it. I mean, there's still 90 people in here. So if like 10 people picked up the Bloodbath, double feature, we'd suddenly be at 65%, which would be amazing. But nonetheless, you don't want to push it. I don't want to push it. I'm just saying it's there. Let me see here. X Hot Wheels X88 says, "Very few. There was a Ghost Story movie, but it was the kids with OI and broke everyone in the movie." Oh, I guess you're talking to somebody else. I'm not quite sure who you're talking to there. Lord of Dogtown says, "This brings back memories of the IMB2 campaign." Yeah, that was well, and that was more exciting because Olivia was attached at that time. There were Blu-rays that were available. There were producer perks that were available because we were raising money for the actual production budget of the campaign. Or of the film, right? And so this has been a bit of a tougher sell. But look, I mean, you guys are stepping up. 26 days left, 62%. It's a development campaign. I mean, I'm basically like, there's no movie at the end of this. I mean, there will eventually be a movie once, it gets made, obviously. But the money raised here doesn't go towards making the film. It goes towards creating everything we need to push it past the script stage, because the script is done, the lookbook is done, so we can be in a really great position to be able to actually seek the financing that we need. And so development funding is not easy. And the fact that, we keep pushing on it, right? Every week we keep hitting our goals. We keep pushing on it. And it looks like, I don't want to get my hopes up yet, but if we can hit that 20,000 Canadian mark, only about 14,500, US. I mean, when I first launched it, somebody said to me, "Oh, you'll be able to do this like in your first week." And I'm like, well, but it's different, I mean, because they were thinking, you raised 45,000 US on chapter 1. You raised, $106,000 on chapter 2. You should be able to raise $14,000 in your sleep. And I said, well, you would think. I said, but this is a development campaign. There's no Blu-rays. There's no producer perks. And so it's a lot harder of a sell because you're asking somebody to believe in a vision, essentially. And it's not only a vision. I mean, there's a lookbook, there's a script, and I'm moving forward, 100%. But But that's what you're asking for, right? Essentially, because this isn't a production budget thing. Like, the movie's going to cost way too much to crowdfund. I mean, it's going to be probably at the very least a $3 or $4 million movie. So you can't crowdfund that unless you're Chris Stuckman. But even he only did, I think, he crowdfunded like $1 million or something like that, which is amazing. But he also has like 3 million subscribers. But nonetheless, to see you guys stepping up again, donating, believing in this, wanting to see my vision, my dream become a reality, is, again, humbling. It means a lot. And I'm not going to let you down. Now, it also helps too that I have proven trust, right? I've raised money in the past and I have delivered on those promises. And by the way, the Billy Blu-rays, Chapter 2 Blu-rays, I know you guys have been waiting for them. They are being made right now. And so we're hoping to get them back by the end of the month. Hopefully, depends on when they ship them. And then we can start shipping them out this fall. Yeah, for sure. And you'll get them before Christmas, which is amazing. Well before, if we can get them back and everything's okay and nothing's fucked up and we got to get them to do it again, or, which is why they send you proofs and you have to approve it and all that kind of stuff. Anyways, it's looking good. So that's a side note. But yeah, we deliver on our promises, right? And so having that history, I think, has really helped because you guys know I'm not going to let you down. I can never guarantee that you're going to like the movie. I can't guarantee that when The House on Port Robinson Road gets made, you're going to really love it. I can't guarantee that, but I can guarantee that I'm going to work my ass off to make the best movie that I possibly can with the resources that I have at my disposal, whatever resources those end up being. And that I can guarantee. And so, just seeing that is amazing, guys. You guys are awesome. You guys are awesome. Cause I wanted to be at 60% by tomorrow and I'm at 62%. And I'm like, that's awesome. Hey, we're close to 65%. Hey, if one other person picks up the November Files Platinum, or dare I say the November Files Legacy, the top tier, that'll jump to close to 70%. That'd be wild. Anyways, Dad says, I'm really interested to see how this whole thing develops. Most making of stuff I know is from pre-production onwards. Yeah, well, pre-production's a big part of it, right? We're not in pre-production right now, right? Because we haven't been greenlit. And so there's no cast, there's no, there's a script and there's a lookbook, but there's no crew, there's no cast. And so it's very early stages. This is true development, and so, we'll see what happens, right? The thing that I want to do, that I really want to do, is I want to bring on a line producer. And now whether that line producer ends up being somebody that is actually the line producer when the movie goes to camera, I don't know. Sometimes during the development stage, you bring on a line producer to just simply help you with that stage. And they're not necessarily the line producer you bring on when you go to camera, although they could very well be. It would depend on scheduling and all that kind of stuff and whether you guys gel and mesh. But bringing on a line producer in the development stage will help me go through the script, and they will be able to go through it with a fine-tooth comb and identify truly how much is this movie going to cost. Because I did a preliminary budget breakdown a few months ago, and I broke it all down, like everything you can imagine. I broke it all down, full scale, union shoot, all that. And it came to about $2.5–3 million. And so, but bringing on a professional line producer who does this for a living might be able to break it down, and they might say, actually, it's going to be $6 million. Or they might say, you know what? We might be able to do this for 1.9. It all depends, right? But I need to know that. We need to know that information when we have meetings with studios or production companies or producers, because on top of the vision, you got to know how much is this vision going to cost. And they're going to want to know that, because if you say, I can do it for $50 million, they're going to be like, the hell you can. We're not giving you $50 million for this, right? Like, I think you need to tone this down. But if The House on Port Robinson Road, and I believe it is, I believe even if the line producer goes through it, I believe it's going to be low. And when I say low, I mean in the world of movies. I want to believe that this is a movie that I truly believe. I think this is a movie that can be made for absolutely less than $10 million. It's a sub $10 million film, I believe, with what I've written. And that could be attractive to producers or production companies or studios. They might look at it and go, okay, well, we're not going to give you 10, first time director, we'll give you 5. We'll give you 6. Do you think you can make it for 5 or 6? And then you go back and you figure it out. Can we? Yes. And okay. Because if it's a $5 or $6 million movie, that's attractive, right? It's attractive because that means they might be able to, depending on the marketing and the campaign and what they do and how it makes money, it might make a bit of money, right? It might make a little bit of money. Anyways, that's a whole other topic. But the point I'm making is that the development phase is all about being in a position where we know those answers. Our pitch package is incredibly strong, and I'm part of that pitch. The house on Port Robinson Road, I would say I'm not going to say it's not mass appeal friendly, but I would say not at face value. Like it is psychological. It is a little elevated. When I say that, I don't mean it's pretentious. I just mean that it's a psychological horror drama with supernatural elements. Like I've said, it's like the tone of like The Others and, The Witch and even Weapons to a degree in terms of tone. I don't mean story. It has nothing to do with those in terms of story, but I just mean like that eeriness, that eerie environment, when nothing, I want to set a tone, an eerie tone to the environment. The Night House, The Ritual. Like just think of movies that just have eerie tones. Like just when you're watching the movie, nothing particularly creepy is happening in the movie. It's just an eerie movie. You know what I mean? Just kind of like there's a tone. So I've always imagined that kind of thing for the movie. And of course it's got my mood and my atmosphere and my suspense. It's got the Dave McRae scares, right? But it also has a layer that I would akin to like, the movie Contact or Arrival. Yeah, you know what I mean? Things like that. There's a more elevated emotional current there as well. And so it's like I've often said, I'm always trying to not talk or try to talk in a way where I don't give away spoilers, but try to give enough that piques people's interest where you go, oh, interesting. I believe I've taken familiar horror elements, right, which is the college-aged characters and abandoned haunted farmhouse. Ooh, we've heard and seen those things before. But I believe we haven't seen those things quite in this way before. But that doesn't mean that I'm going off and making something that's like avant-garde. It's not at all. I believe it absolutely will and could have mass appeal, but it's just not. It's not a slasher movie. It's not a one and done. It's not archetypal. It's got more meat on the bone, right? Like I always say, right? It's got more meat on the bone. And so, yeah, so I believe that it could be something that could, pique the interest of, but the pitch has got to be great, right? The pitch has got to be sound. And I'm a big part of that pitch, right? My belief in it is a big part of that pitch. But the materials that we provide, the lookbook, the script, further down, the road, the budget breakdown, maybe a scheduling, concept art, all these things, are part of the pitch, right? And depending on how much I eventually raise for development, maybe I could shoot a concept teaser or a concept little trailer, right? Totally professional, studio quality, like you guys know. But maybe that's like something to go with. It all depends on how much I raise, because obviously to shoot at that level, you need to raise more money than, $20,000. And so, but it would depend, right? It would depend on what's involved in the teaser. I mean, maybe you could do it for $5,000 and, it all depends. But I'm just shooting from the hip here, kind of just saying that that's the stage that this is in, right? It's a project that is inspired by true events from my second year of college. I'm very excited about it. Like I said, it is a horror movie, but it's not just horror. It's not, it doesn't rely on jump scares. It's not, there's a story woven through this, that I think is that I think is something that you haven't seen in the college kids visit haunted house, whatever subgenre that is. I don't think you've seen it told quite like this. And so, that's why I'm very excited. And, but to see you guys coming out is just awesome. And it means the world to me. It means the world to me. 10 million is movie money is like pennies to them. Yeah. Oh, it is. And, as a first time feature film director, I wouldn't necessarily get that. But that's why I've said, I think this is a movie based on what I know. And obviously I know a hell of a lot more than you do. Based on what I know, and the budget that I did, I think this is a movie that could be made, as I said, for 10 and under. Not necessarily 10, but it could be 5, it could be 4, it could be 7, it could be 8. I mean, but that's why you bring on a line producer, is so you can figure all that out. And so you can get actuals, not ballparks, right? So you can go, well, how much is it going to cost to shoot for 6 weeks with, these actors and, nighttime scenes and turnovers, and there's nighttime premiums. You got to factor that in. I mean, actors get paid more when they work at night, and, if they work for, and then that actor can't then turn around and work on that day because there has to be a certain amount of hours in terms of that they have to have off before they can come back to set again. And these are all things the average fan doesn't know. And, but there are union rules, and you've got to abide by them. And, when you're shooting a professional film, it's the real deal. And so, these are all the things you have to figure out. Right. And, budget's the big one. Because budget could be, hey, we love this, but you're telling me the house on Port Robinson Road is going to cost $25 million. Yeah, no, we're not going to do that. You're telling me the house on Port Robinson Road is going to cost $5 million. Okay. This might be worth the risk. Do you know what I mean? So we'll see. But yeah, these funds are going to go towards polishing the pitch package as best we can. So you guys are amazing. You guys are awesome. Still sitting at 149 and 12,452. Folks, before I wrap up here in the next 10 or 15 minutes, could we get this to 12,500? I mean, or maybe how about 3 extra people? Could 3 extra people maybe pick up the Bloodbath double feature, and then that would bump us to 63%? I don't know. Could it? I don't know. Just saying. That would take just 3 people. 3 people right now. There's 90 people in the chat room. Just 3 people right now. You never know. But yeah. So anyway, sorry, I was rambling on there, but I like to talk. Again, I wish I could talk more. I wish I could just tell you the whole story and tell you what it's all about. But I will say this. Darren from the Slaughtered Lamb, because we talked about this on his channel, he has read the script. And one of the things, he thought it was great. And one of the things that he was surprised by, he said, I was surprised at how big it was. And what he meant by that was because all the perspective he had was the don't EVP, right? And I've actually had a few people say to me, how can you make an entire inspired by true events movie based around one EVP? And I'm like, see, that's where you're wrong. The experience that I had on the house on Port Robinson Road isn't just the don't EVP. That's just what I've let you listen to. That's just the story I've told you. But that's not the only thing that's happened, right? No. This was like 8 months of shit that was going on. You know what I'm saying? And so I have 18, that's not hyperbolic. I have 18 90-minute cassette tapes full of our excursions out there. I have like piles of photos that we took. I have VHS tapes full of video. Well, not VHS tapes, 8mm tapes. Maybe 5 or 6. And so I have a lot of stuff. There was a lot of stuff. It was a big thing. Now, having said that, what I had to do was I couldn't just write a story that had everything as it happened verbatim in there, right? I had to write a story that was inspired by. That's what you do when you do this kind of thing. Otherwise, because everything that happened doesn't, listen, if you've ever been ghost hunting, you know that 90% of the time it's very boring and nothing happens. Excuse me. It's the kind of thing where I had to use there's a lot of stuff in the film that absolutely happened. That is 100% true. But I had to write the foundation. I had to write a story that centered around. And so it became a character-driven film there's a lot of layers to it. There's a lot going on. And I think that's what surprised Darren. He realized, the don't EVP is in here, but this isn't a movie about kids going to a haunted house and experiencing don't. That's part of it, but that's like this much of it. Do you know what I mean? And there's a real story here. Like there's a real, like this is, and so I think it surprised him, and so as he got into it, he's like, this is great. Like, this is really great. And so thank goodness he really liked it. And so I've had other people read it who work in the industry as well. And they've said they've really liked it. And they've said, there was one guy that said to me, I wish I could tell you what happens, but he said to me, if he read the first page and he emailed me and he said, if the rest of your, I'm paraphrasing, but he said, if the rest of your script is even half as good as this first page, he says, I think I'm in for something really special here. And he really liked it. He really liked the rest of the script. So again, I wish I could tell you all about it and where it goes, but I don't want to do that, obviously, because of the stage that I'm in right now, which is the development stage. And so I'm keeping, but I'm letting you know, a fair bit, enough about sort of the tone of the piece, kind of to think about, certain tones from different movies and what it could feel like. But again, that's tone. That's not story. Like, don't think, oh, so it's The Others meets, The Witch. Tonally, not story, right? Not story. That's just my way of saying when you watch a movie that has really palpable atmosphere, right? I guess I could just say it like that and leave the, comparisons on the floor so I don't unnecessarily set unrealistic expectations, I guess. But when you watch movies with great atmosphere, The Others, The Ritual, Long Legs, that's what I mean. Like movies with great atmosphere, where the camera becomes a character, and where look at the Billy films. I mean, they had great atmosphere, right? I love that kind of thing. And so that's what I mean by that. And so I like to think of movies that have that. I'm a huge fan of movies where the environment unsettles. It can be two people in a coffee shop talking. There's nothing creepy happening, but it just feels fucking creepy because the whole movie is just eerie. It's just a creepy film. You know what I mean? And so The House on Port Robinson Road has some of that, right? You know what I mean? So that's what I mean by that. That's what I mean by that. But Anyways, super chat from Carl Wyman. Carl, what's going on? Sends in $5, says, that house on Port Robinson Road is no longer there, but in a way, part of it has been preserved through the November files. That's true. And that's very true. And hopefully in this movie, and in me talking about it, and so hopefully, but yeah, no, the real house burned to the ground in February of 2002. The real house burned to the ground in February of 2002. And so, yeah. Michael King says weapons cost $38 million. Jeez. Yeah. Well, and there's lots of, there are some movies that cost a lot more than you think. I think here's the thing. When people think that a movie costs more because of visual effects, or because of, and that can be it, but that's not the only reason why a movie can cost more. There's many reasons why some movies like that cost this. Why? There's not a lot of special effects. Well, movies, budgets don't go up just because of special effects. But it was a lot more than you got for Barbarian. And why? Because Barbarian was a big success. And so, yeah, they trust. And now, I mean, if Zach Kreger wanted to make a movie with $100 million budget, they'd probably trust him with it. You know what I mean? I mean, he's just killing it. He's just killing it. Let me see. Have I got all the super chats, all the member chats? I just want to make sure we're coming up to the 2-hour mark here. And I just want to make sure that there's like 7 minutes. We'll take this thing to 2 hours, folks, and then we will call it a day. We'll take this thing to 2 hours. Is there anybody willing to take us to 12,500? We're at 149 right now. We're sitting at 12,442. Is there any way we can make that a nice round 12,500? That would just take one extra Bloodbath double feature. I'd love to get to 63%, but I don't want to be overzealous in my selling. Oh my God, Halloween Horror Nights, a Thopper house. That would be amazing. Yeah, that would be really cool. That'd be really cool. Well, you never know. Oh, and the house on Port Robinson Road, For those of you that might be wondering, the house on Port Robinson Road, in my eyes, in my mind, is a one and done. It is not a, there would be no The House on Port Robinson Road 2. It's not that kind of movie. It's just, some movies are just, it has a beginning, a middle, and an end, and it's done. It's not if it ever did really well and somebody wanted to make a sequel to it, I still own the rights, or a majority, I would say, well, not if you want to make something maybe in the same universe, follow a different set of ghost hunting people, or whatever they do, knock yourself out maybe. And I hold up my hand and a check fall. No, it's not designed to be. The House on Port Robinson Road is not designed to be a franchise. But you never know, do you? Famous last words. You never know. But in my mind, it's a one and done, because it's inspired by true events, and it's not that inspired by true events can't go on and on, but this was, a truly one and done story in my mind. It means a lot to me, folks. It's a story that means so much to me. And I wish my mom were alive. She was my biggest supporter, my biggest fan. She went to the house when she came to visit me at college. I took her over to the house, just her and I. It was during the day, of course. It was just her and I, and she loved it. She thought it was beautiful, and, she thought it was amazing. And she was my biggest fan. She was my biggest supporter. She believed, she wanted to see this movie made. I began writing the script when I was 26 years old, and I'm now 46. I finally completed it. She died 14 years ago. And so unfortunately, she'll, never get to see the movie. But I wish she were alive today so I could hand her the script. But she was my biggest support, and a big reason why the script is done. And she gave, there was a birthday card she gave me. I've showed it here on the channel. She gave me a birthday card for like my 27th or 28th birthday. And I'm paraphrasing, but it was a birthday card she made. And she photocopied the house. She put a picture of the house on the front of it. And inside it said something to the effect of, in a time long ago, a house on Port Robinson Road touched your heart. You must bring it to life. And she's talking about the movie. And she says, believe and it shall be. That's what she said. A birthday card she made me. And so this is obviously, as you can tell, it means a lot to me. It means a lot to me. And I'm very proud of the story. I'm very proud of the direction and where it goes. And it means a lot to me that you guys are supporting in the way that you are. This isn't just another movie for me. I love the Billy films. I'm so thankful you guys came out and supported them, and I'm very proud of them. And I think they're great. And yeah, I love them, and I love the people I've met on them, and the experiences and the friendships I've made, for sure. 100%. But this project means more to me, because it's something I've been working on since, well, before some of my younger, viewers were born, or since you were like maybe 2. And so it's a long time. I've been working on this more than half my life. And so it means a lot to me to see this kind of support and belief in the vision, because I understand where it's at right now, right? It's development. And to see it means a lot, because it's come hell or high water, or I forget the saying, but you know what I'm saying. I'm going to do everything I can to make this movie and to make it right and to make it with the vision that I see in my head. Now, of course, there's the old saying, there's the movie you write, the movie you make, and the movie you release. So, fingers crossed that I get to, actually make the movie I have in my head and that I have in the script. But that's all part of this, right? Is raising those funds and and putting ourselves in the best position possible. So again, I just want to say thank you to each and every one of you out there who have subscribed to the channel, who have become subscribers. It means a lot to me. Thank you to each and every one of you out there who have donated to the Billy campaigns, who have stepped up and donated to this one as well. It means a lot to me. And this is not hyperbole. It means more to me than you will likely ever know. And so just know that. So I'm very excited about it. I think it's scary and atmospheric, and I mean, there's a thunderstorm, and there's a whole, I mean, it's a whole thing, folks. It's a whole thing. But I also believe it's a character-driven film as well. So so there's meat on the bone. There's meat on the bone. All right, folks. Well, listen. I think that's going to do it for me here on this episode of McRae. Oh, we did it! Amazing. You guys, see, I know I can count on you guys. You guys are awesome. We did it. We did it. Somebody picked up the, I'm pretty sure that was somebody picked up the Bloodbath double feature. We got to 12,502. Let's see who that was. It was Josh Webb, of course. Josh, of course. Amazing, Josh. Thank you. Awesome. To see us hit that nice round number of 12,502. That is awesome. Folks, don't forget. Let's see it now. Now let's see if we can get to 65% by the weekend and then 70% by this time next week. Because then that'll be only by this time next week will be basically just 2.5 weeks left in the campaign. So if you're watching live, if you're watching after the fact and you've been waiting, now's the time to get in on it. Now's the time to jump in on it and pick up a perk or donate to the campaign. It would mean a lot to me. Folks, you guys are amazing. Thank you so much for your support to the channel and to the and becoming a subscriber. And on the next show, I will have a juicy topic to discuss. We didn't really have a topic today because it was just kind of celebrating 30,000 subs and, trying to raise a little funds on the campaign. But I appreciate you all tuning in. Thank you so much. Thank you to the super chats that came in, the member chats that came in. I appreciate it very much. And have a great rest of your Monday night. And I will talk to you all very, very, very soon. Alrighty. In the meantime and in between time, I will talk to you soon. Cheers.